In this video, we want to discuss the concepts of time value of money. But in this case, we want to talk about cash flows that are what we refer to as being equal payments or annuity payments. So the first video is going to discuss how do you calculate the future value of annuities. So the things we need to know first is interest. What interest rate will our particular investment grow at? And let's assume 10% is the growth rate. And let's make this a retirement question. Let's assume that I'm going to retire in 25 years. So the question is, for payment, how much if I invest a certain amount of money per year, what will that grow to by the end of this 25 years? Let's assume that I can invest $5,000. Now, remember the convention here. In this case, we have to tell it whether the cash flow is positive or negative, because these could be cash flows we receive or cash flows we pay. So you need to put in here a negative $5,000. So we'll make $5,000 payment at the end of each year. Again, here's a zero. And let's see what that will grow to. That $5,000 per year will be worth roughly $491,735 at the end of 25 years. So there are several questions we can ask just about this amount. And again, the easiest questions to answer is, well, what happens if we can earn more money? Then the values grow bigger. What happens if we invest a little longer? Then, of course, the values will grow bigger. But let's ask a very important question first. What happens if we invest today instead of investing at the end of the year? In other words, if I were to tell you you're going to invest $5,000 a year and you're going to start at the end of this year, that's what's referred to as an ordinary annuity. But if the problem says we're going to invest $5,000 a year and we're going to begin today, that's an annuity due. So what happens if I switch from making payments at the end of the year to making payments at the beginning of the year? I need to change this ordinary annuity cell from a 0 to a 1. And what we will see is that it changes. The annuity due here is now $540,908 or $908.83. So what that means is, instead of the annuity due, which was $491, by making the same number of payments, but by starting today, I earn roughly about another $50,000 on my investment. So if you start earlier, you're going to earn more money. Another question we might ask, let's go back to the ordinary annuity question. What would happen if, instead of making one payment at the end of the year, what would happen if I would divide these payments into monthly amounts? So what I need to do is change the compounding frequency from 1 to 12, and then I need to go down here to the payment, and I want to make this a formula equals negative 5,000 divided by 12. So now I'm going to make roughly a $416 a month payment. In this case, instead of $490,000, I have $552,000. What happens if I do this as an annuity due? If you change the number from 0 to 1, it's another $5,000. So again, making payments sooner and making payments more frequently make the values of our investment grow. We might also say, well, look, if let's say that I need, let me change this number. Let's say we need $600,000 in the future. The question that I have right now is, how much do I have to invest each month to get $600,000? And if you remember, well, let's go back and change this. If you remember, the annual number was $5,000. If we need this once a year, again, what we'll find out is the future value of this, the payment to get the $600,000 is roughly $6,100 a year, or if I change the interest from 1 to 12, roughly $452 per year. So again, we can ask several questions, right? There's another couple of very important questions we can ask. So let's kind of move back to our original question. We're investing $5,000 a year. That gives us roughly $540,000 at the end. But what if, let's say you anticipate getting a 3% bonus every year on your from your paycheck. So you're going to get an increase of $3,000 per year that you want to put into this amount every year for the foreseeable future. Let's assume you get a raise every year. We have what we refer to here as the growth of an annuity. We can calculate here and put in that we want our payments to grow by 3%. So if you type in a 3%, what you'll find out is that if you invest $5,000 and increase that amount by 3% per year, you will end up with, let me change the, so we can see here, you will essentially have $624,000 at the end of 25 years instead of 540. Again, the point here is you're investing more, so you know it's going to grow more, but we have put in some specific amount for our growth. So again, there's lots of questions we can ask about the future value of growth. And this is a very important one. We can talk later possibly about a retirement problem, how you might solve for some retirement questions. So that is the end of the video on the future value of an annuity.